You there, guys? I'll just get a drink. Wait on. So I'm just having a drink. I'm happy to chat to you here. Come up. Do you want to chat here at the window?
Yeah, come to the window.
Yeah, come to the window. Yeah, so I ranked it. Oh, that's a nice Puma.
Say again? Oh, yeah, thank you.
It's circa what, 1998 or?
Yeah, pretty old. These.
I've been fucked over.
Right.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I rang up the police today, framed by my apparent voices, which describe a incident that I've been framed for. Am I under arrest as a sex predator, or have I ever been?
I don't think so.
You're not under arrest at the moment.
On our system, I don't think you are at all.
You don't think?
Yeah, I'll just check for you, but pretty certain on
Do you want to check for me? I need to know for sure.
Yeah, look here. But I don't know where to see it today, just because.
No, but I've got questions to ask you, so if you can answer that for me, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll find out for you. And what's your name again? Richard?
Richard Mclean,
Mclean, yeah. And your date of birth?
8th of 4th, 73.
No, nothing, no involvements for anything to do with sexual crimes or anything like that.
There's nothing. Well, that's odd. I wrote a book many years ago that got a Human Rights Award and Sane's Book of the Year.
Yeah.
In it, I detailed it was consensual, but it was regretful sex.
Yeah.
I was the one half of the sexual partner, and Debbie Morgan was the other.
Yeah.
Now, it occurs to me that a movement to kind of exploit me happened to foster guilt in me, so that I would more or less be framed. Now, at the time, I thought they were, part of an illness, and I wrote about it in a tell-all book. That was a pro-feminist book,
Yeah.
to try and educate people on consent and sexuality. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, now what has happened is that a whole lot of shit fuckery's gone down. I've had a hard life, no more so than now.
Yeah.
I do have a mental illness. However, I'm also not an idiot. There are people that want to exploit me for the half-assed guilt of having this experience, and I've written about it publicly. Do you know who that person is?
No, we have no idea. Yeah.
Steve Isonides, my former partner,
Yeah.
and the Springvale Police from Debbie Morgan.
Yeah.
Now, what's happened is that I've been exploited, and there's a movement to absolutely fucking destroy me. It actually happened in February 2021 when I actually attempted suicide inside Werribee Mercy Hospital. I've got the freedom of information here and evidence, and they consider that a fatal injury and a lethal attempt.
Yeah.
Who was behind that incarceration? My former partner, Steve Isonides. 20 months on, I have lived on first job seeker. I mean, that's a pretty obnoxious thing for the government to do, for someone who's spoken in the parliament to all the radio and Today shows and Triple J, all that kind of stuff, and was a public mental health advocate for over 25 years. I've always put people first, and I've always swapped stories to educate, inform, and respect each other's stories, and go out on the front foot when I think I might have done something wrong. So what's happened is I'm in a situation whereby the government first put me on job seeker after I'd suffered a fatal injury, and I've got a brain detriment from that time. That was really unkind, and so it's systemic, and it goes to the top, this movement to destroy me. Further, I then got put on a pension, and for 20 months it's now been, I've survived on $1,200 a month for rent. That's my income, but the rent's $1,650.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, for 20 whole months, I've lived in an absolute deficiency. I haven't had enough to simply exist. Understand?
Yeah.
So, there are very many things that have acted at the same time, which could have been an antidote for that. One was that I got a valid, just, legal, and fair settlement from Steve Isonides. He worked for ASIO. When I was hospitalised, I didn't understand that he was pivotal in getting me hospitalised. So there's that first. Now, after that suicide attempt, I was ripped off in numerous other ways. One, when I became ill from work the first time before I went to hospital, that was because I failed 2 VOCAT cases. The VOCAT cases were a child sexual abuse case, which was my own, where I was the victim. And so there was that, and there was another former affray in Footscray, and I saved someone who was getting beaten up. I'm not a violent person. And it was exploited and on me that I was the person responsible for it, or what they say, the principal aggressor.
Yeah.
VOCAT had me stitched up twice, and then when I was doing my client's VOCAT case, because I'm an allied health professional, or used to be, I was triggered by his stories, and then I realised I'd been framed. So it was difficult for me to ethically go forward and do his VOCAT case because it was set up to fail, and my reputation had been ruined. That's despite just prior to that, I studied my arse off, and I've worked as an artist my whole life, and I attained a PhD. So it's Dr. Rich, as you might know. Now, I just want to point out the inconsistencies with what's going on. My income assist from HCF, the insurer, was cooked. Now, what's happened is Sheena Jack, the CEO, I've caught her out systemically corrupting my case to rob me of money. There was a legitimate claim for me to make that I had suffered I was triggered by other stuff and the fact that I was framed, and they didn't pay me out. So there was that one. And then there's another... Come on, Crystal! I don't know who that was. And then there's another one. So AFCA, the Australian Financial Complaints Authority, have to come to determinations within a 4-week period for marginalised people. They, both before I literally died and after, just kept delaying, deferring, denying. I've recorded Tim Goss and Peter Fisher Oh, fuck. Can you just wait there one sec?
Yeah.
What is it, Crystal? I don't know what that noise was anyway. I don't know what that was, but yeah, can I just keep going with that? Tim Goss and Peter Fisher are called out at AFCA for delaying, denying, deferring my valid complaints, and that has led me to further vagrancy. In addition to that, I've got my work cover case. Now, as an employer, as an employee of the government and someone on the NDIS, working for the NDIS, I'm a government employee. I know that because I've got a stable number with Department of Social Security, and I've also got like a worker's profile on their government system. Now, this is what should have happened. Because the statutory authority of NDIS Commission was in Victoria, it should have been done with WorkSafe. However, WorkSafe sent me to Comcare, which is the government insurer. So if you guys got injured on the job, you'd be going to Comcare. Or maybe the state, I'm not sure. Now, at Comcare, it took all that time and then it was denied. Why was it denied? Because Paul Fowler is the name of the guy, rejected me on a section of legislation which said I wasn't a worker for the purposes of some act. Why is that important? It's because all of this time, for the last 10 years, I've been locked out of getting a lawyer. Now, of course, I need an acknowledgement of that claim because it's my lifeblood. I'm deserving and eligible for work cover. What happened was they rejected me. Now, as it so happens, Paul Fowler, the guy that rejected me at Comcare, is the old boss at WorkSafe. They saw me coming. I was set up to fail. So, to this date, it's been 20 months. I haven't had a cent come in apart from first job seeker for a long time and then the DSP.
Are you on Centrelink at all?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm telling you. So, first job seeker and then the disability support pension.
Yeah. We can
So-
we can't really help you with all the other stuff.
Well, I think you can because I've actually got the evidence here and I want to give it to you today to take to have a look at because this systemic oppression is an ungodly way to persecute and victimise someone.
In terms of that sort of stuff, that'll be more of like a civil matter, not so much a police matter. But we can probably try and give you, if you want, like we can give you referrals for a little bit more money. You said that obviously you can't afford the rent's higher cost than what you're actually getting. If you want, we can
Go back a step.
Yeah.
So, an injustice has occurred that's systemic, and I know you say it's a civil matter, but you've got to understand, I'm not allowed to get a lawyer. I've been locked out. Why? Because I had a legitimate complaint about a doctor in 2017, and his lawyer was Mr. Ball of Ball and Partners. Who is he? He informs government policy and the Ombudsman and sits on the National Legal Bar. So while I was fighting this malpractice case, all I wanted was an acknowledgement. He framed me as an extortionist internally to AFCA, NHPOPC, you guys, IBAC, the Victorian Inspectorate and the Ombudsman. So I was set up to fail. Computer says no for Rich. All of this has led to my hospitalisation and I can show that, I'll give you the disc today, my fatal injury. Now it's called fatal because if I hadn't been accidentally found, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
That's a serious issue and it's something for which I cannot get an acknowledgement from anywhere from. In addition to that, I can't get a lawyer. So it's gone to the Ombudsman who says there's nothing to see. Obviously, if you had a child, son, daughter or brother, sister and they were that systemically persecuted, they literally killed themselves. You'd think someone would have their back, yeah? No. No one does. Not you guys, not my parents, not my sister, my brother. No one in this world has my back. Why? Because I'm exploited as a sexual predator. Read the earlier book.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely not in our system as a sexual predator. So just for your information, you're not in the police's system for that.
What am I in there for?
I can't tell you exactly what you're in there for, but that's most of the stuff in there is just sort of mental health.
You're right. There is a mental health aspect to it.
Yeah.
But what you're not acknowledging is these delusions of persecution that I'm medicated for are absolutely fucking real. And I will give you the disc today, and I would request that you take it and have a look at it. At least give me the acknowledgement of taking it and having a look at it.
I'll take it. I'll have a look at it. If you have it there ready for me now, I'll have a look at it. It's very likely, from what you've told us, it's very likely there's nothing we can do as police, because we obviously deal with the Crimes Act and things like that. When it comes to this sort of stuff, especially if it's people not giving you money for insurance and things like that, that's all of this. That's a civil matter.
Well, what about being locked out of being allowed a lawyer? I mean, that's a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and it's a vile and abhorrent victimisation. Victimisation is against the law.
So I've never heard about that. If you want, I can probably give you... How many lawyers have you tried to call? How many agents?
You have no idea.
Yeah.
I have not successfully got a lawyer in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
I have outstanding cases, and just today, I got another rejection from an insurance company. The big fat computer says no.
Yeah.
And why can't Rich do anything? Because he's banned from the Australian Financial Complaints Authority. Why is that important? Because it means a just and equitable place for me to debate these issues, but I'm already framed out of there. So the AFCA, no go. Also, the Australian Human Rights Commission lost $1 million case to the opposition, and they were supposed to be impartial because why? I was set up to fail. This is a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and I have the evidence right here on this disc.
Well, if you give me the disc now, I'll be able to have a look at it tomorrow. And then I'll get your phone number, so if you get a call from a private number, but like I said, from what you've told me, it's extremely unlikely that we'll be able to do anything. All we can really help you with at the moment is probably a referral for more financial assistance. So if you need a bit more money, we can probably get people to get in contact with you about that.
To be fair, every single time the police come here, I get that answer.
Yeah.
Every time, and
not
once has it been acknowledged.
Yeah.
Further to that, do I need welfare or do I need justice?
Well,
If I had justice, I would not need welfare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fair call, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you're in my situation. They take your job, they take your insurance, they rob you blind, and then they systemically fucking cook it right to the top. And today, my public interest disclosure to the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet, who also refuse my freedom of information, refuse to do anything about it.
And I 100% agree with you with that sort of stuff. And it's a very shit situation, and I don't know how I'd be in that situation at all. But
well, you know what? I'm distressed, not only because there's no reason to call the bloody. Did you call the ambulance?
No, we didn't.
Oh right.
That's why we're all confused that they're here at the moment.
Well, look, you're right. There's a mental health aspect to this, but also what's not being acknowledged is what's distressing me is real.
Yeah.
And that's the rub. What's happening here is a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, which I know that you guys could investigate as a crime, but you can't because I've already gone to the Ombudsman with all of this, and they've cooked it. Sue Kaboblovas, I can't remember her name, sorry, from IBAC, she's all over it. She doesn't want to deal with it. There is nothing I can do. What do you think is the next step for me, rather than getting, I'm sure you're nice people, a promise from the police of welfare?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not too sure. I've never really dealt with anything like this before.
Well,
I'd say probably just if you wanted to keep trying with lawyers and stuff and see how you go.
there's no point.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no fucking point. I'm a banned whistleblower at AFSA, at ASIC, and the Commonwealth Ombudsman, and now the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet. But I have been a public spokesperson for mental illness for 25 years, always putting myself first, always making my story a topic to talk about, and always valuing other people's stories and sharing them in a systemic and profound public way. And now I'm exploited for whatever reason you might want to put on it, but it just simply can't be possible that all this has happened to one person. Like, in addition to that, my business that has been going since 1998, richmclean.com or richmclean.com.au, it was maliciously destroyed by a company that's connected to the government. They fucking destroyed it. They ruined the evidence I had, my photos of loved ones that have died. They destroyed all of my backups, my emails, and my online business, which I made money from. Yeah. And they did it with impunity. You know why? Because I went to the Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman. I went to the Small Business and Family Industry Ombudsman. I went to business.gov.au. This movement to exploit and destroy me is actually a thing, and they are actually doing it, and they're quite transparent about it. They stabbed me right in the fucking front. How could you even have a business online that's been going for 20 years that you make money of, and is your digital identity and your online identity, like with emails and stuff for Centrelink and government services, and they just fucking destroy it. And one day send you an email, you're no longer a customer, we've deleted it, thank you and goodbye. How is it that a company can get away with that?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I haven't actually heard. This is the first time I've ever sort of heard of any of this going on. But we have to leave.
Can you please take this disc?
Yeah, if you get the disc, just so you know,
What?
we have to leave shortly.
It's still copying. Oh shit, still copying. Look,
now because you called police and you mentioned that you're going to harm yourself. We just need to make sure.
I know. Look. I was thinking of it.
Yeah.
What would you do? I mean, you've been fucking robbed, mate, and there's a movement to fucking destroy you.
Yeah.
Now, I had to beg money for that pizza tonight. I'll be sharing it with the dog.
Yeah.
What about that's not right for you, framed by what I said?
Yeah. Nothing's right about it. What you said.
I don't know what the reason is. Police are all willing to blame illness and check on me for that, but refuse to get traction in any other singular way.
So yeah, with the other stuff you've spoken about, it's just because all of that pretty much is a civil matter. It's not.
Well, it's not. It's a systemic government corruption.
Yeah.
But that's not something that we deal with at a uniform level.
Because you are the government.
Yeah,
We're just on the beat cops. Like, we just deal with crime, traffic stuff.
Well, I've had, if I got $50 stolen or a phone, you'd investigate it, right?
we would, yeah.
See, I've had multi-millions of dollars in detriment, and they're already. And you know what it's to do? To aid and abet my death, because I'm a suicide survivor, and it's likely I'll fucking kill myself. It's really wrong, immoral, illegal, and it's abhorrent what's happening to me. I don't know what else I can do. I'm just copying this data across now.
Yeah. Does it say how long it's going to take?
Well, it's another 2 or 3 hours to copy it all. But if you're around later, can you drop in and I'll give it to you?
Yeah. Otherwise, if you like, so you got a car as well. If you like, I'll be at the station tomorrow.
What time?
From 9 a.m. onwards. So 9 a.m. to 5, pretty much.
9 a.m. Okay. Well, look.
If you just walk in the police station, drop it off to the front counter, just write in a little note. My name's Luke Peterson, Constable Luke Peterson.
Oh, hang on. I'll just write it down.
And just drop it off to the front. They'll give it to me, and I'll have a look at it.
Okay.
But,
well, why can't someone high have a look at it?
Say again.
Why can't someone high have a look at
I
it?
basically need to look at it and just see if it makes sure it meets our criteria. Again.
What's the criteria?
I'll have to have a look at it. It's
Okay.
hard to say 'cause I haven't actually seen it yet. But
Well, there is literally hundreds of examples, which adds up to a movement to destroy me.
Yeah.
And there's no other way to look at it. It's abhorrent what's happening to me. You know,
Legal Aid give you a call with a free service? That might be a start. It's not...
Legal Aid or .vic.gov.au. I've already spoken to Dan Andrews. He won't intervene on my justice issues. In fact, like you, they all say this is a mental health issue. In actual fact, it is a mental health issue, but it's also a systemic corruption. Dan Andrews won't intervene. I've spoken to him. I've actually emailed every single parliamentarian in the country about these issues, and not one got back to me. So I've got no leeway. I can't move on. And further, I'm also exploited. So, you know, I won't go into detail, but there is a movement to exploit me in the manner I said before. And, you know, it's not right. It's not right that this has occurred. Like, I've suffered, mate. I mean, I can't get a lawyer. I don't know what else to say. What do you want me to do?
I think that's the problem. You do need a lawyer, but if you're being blocked somewhere, then I honestly don't know what we can do to help you.
Well, I'd like to know from you guys, what's the reason you can't intervene? Because that might give me a hint of why everyone else has blocked me.
Why we can't...
Why can't you intervene?
I'll be honest with you. I think
it's not something we deal with very often. This sort of...
But I mean, I've been robbed millions of dollars.
Yeah.
It's multi-millions of dollars now. They're going to fucking kill me before I get my end in anywhere. That's what they'll do.
We can make some phone calls and speak to some higher ups.
Please do.
It's going to take time. Like you said, we're just uniformed police officers. We deal with...
Don't say just before you say anything. My mother said to me, never say just before you say what you do. Because everyone's got a role.
Yeah.
You've got a role.
You know what I mean?
And, you know, I'm not underselling you guys.
Yeah.
You're the public face of a very difficult situation. But don't not give yourself the credit by saying, this is a shit thing what's happened to Rich. Let's do something about it. He's obviously been very upfront with his experiences over his life. He's advocated for 25 years for other people in this situation with mental health issues, systemically, and he's been in the Parliament and Today Show and all that. Why aren't we helping Rich? You know, that's what I want to hear someone say. Well, that's a shit story what's happened to Rich. I spoke to him. Yeah, he's a bit fucked in the head, but wouldn't you be with this systemic fucking assault? You know, and I want someone to say, well, it's shit what's happened to him. Let's try and help him. Instead of saying a big computer says no, you know?
I'll see what I can do. Just for your info though, you're definitely not on our system for anything regarding what you thought might be there.
Well, that's reassuring to know, but you know what? If I've got a residual paranoia from that time, obviously it's easy to exploit me and set me up to fail like that. And that's a subtext and a narrative that's gone on for a long time. And it is actual, for whether it was an assault or not, it was consensual, is that the word on the street is that whatever, you know, there's no I can't control what other people think, but I've put it out in the public domain as such. Yeah. And for that, I've been exploited. Like, people victimise and vilify me. And they set me up to fail, and the subtext, what they're not saying, is all that stuff around that. Drugs, sex, I'm a poof, you know. It all adds up. What no one's doing is saying, well, fuck, Rich is a nice guy, let's help him, you know? Yeah. And that's what I hope.
We'll try and help you, I'll definitely, if you drop that disc off tomorrow, I'll have a look at it.
Okay, it's just copying now.
Yeah, and I've got your phone number, so if you get a call from a private number
tomorrow morning.
Likely be me.
Okay. I'm
fine.
fine. I'm fine. I've just got no agency to complain.
Yeah.
No legal help. I'm a failed whistleblower. I'm stuck in this house. Everyone's abandoned me. I feel like the return of Jesus Christ here to forgive everyone, you know, if you're a Christian. You know.
Sorry I can't speak to you for too much longer.
All right, no, that's right. Well,
other jobs to go
okay. Well, thanks for coming and listening.
Yeah.
I'm spewing this. Didn't copy, but I'll get it to you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all right. Sounds good. Yeah. Luke
Okay.
Peterson, Constable Luke Peterson.
Luke Peterson, thanks, mate.
You ready, Peter?
Yep.